Salutations, my fellow dudes and dudettes, and welcome back to Paper Mario. Last time, we wrapped up the side quest and finally made our way to Mount Rugged for Chapter 2 of this fantabulous game. I have a reason for feeling energetic, as I'll go into later. Today, we're going to explore Mount Rugged and see what lies atop this place. There's this block here we can't do anything with, so we're just going to ignore it for the time being. I don't remember when I had to use FP. Confound it, where could it be? Hello? Oh, sorry folks, very sorry. I was looking for something and not watching where I was going. What now? Aren't you Mario? Didn't we, see each other, like last chapter or something at the post office? What the heck, dude? I'm normally a letter-perfect postman, but I'm having a bit of trouble with the last letter. Wouldn't you know it, I dropped it on Mount Rugged and now I can't find it. If you happen to stumble upon a letter anywhere around here, please tell me, alright? My job could depend on it. I'll be searching this area thoroughly for a while. No, you're not. Okay, so our mission right now is to find this letter that this delivery man lost. For the only mailman in the post office, you're not very good at your job. Anyways, enough about that. We got a new enemy here, Monty Moles. They have an HP of 3, a defense of 0, and attack of 2. They attack by throwing rocks. So it's actually kind of hard to tell when you're supposed to time your guards. But otherwise, they're not so bad. And one quick boop to the face later, and we're done. Yeah, unfortunately, enemy variety sort of falls apart in this chapter, or at least in the first part of the chapter, because we only got the introduction of 2 enemies, and we already went over the first one. And for being honest, Monty Mole's not very interesting. Alright, now this guy is pretty interesting. This is Wacka. Just another picture-perfect day atop Mount Rugged. Woo! The sunshine, the fresh air, so refreshing. Wackadoo! Okay, now this guy. If you were to whack him with your hammer, you are to get an item called the Whack-A-Bump. The Whack-A-Bump is one of the best healing items in the game because it will heal you for 25 HP and 25 FP. If you do this 10 times, he will stop appearing. It is implied that you killed the poor thing because you couldn't help yourself, you had to get greedy. And honestly, I don't think they're necessary for this game. I mean, maybe one is, but heck, I'm not even sure if I used one during my test run. I will probably go out of my way to get at least one of them, but that's it. I don't want to kill that thing. But I do want the item because it's really good. You can call me a monster if you want, but I don't care. He's called the Whack-A-Bump for a reason. He's called Wackadoo. You were sort of asking for it. Alright, but enough of my terrible Mario impression. Well, it's better than most of my other impressions. Here we got the letter! Alright, that was easy. Yeah, I don't recommend going back to this guy because, spoiler warning, this numbskull managed to lose 3 letters as opposed to just 1. Okay, now here's where we get introduced to a new enemy and, oops. My mistake, I didn't mean to kill him upright. I meant to... Okay, I won't lie, I was sort of, taken aback from what I just did. I was like, oh, it was just by himself, so I can't do the bio now. Alright, but I can do it this time. There goes that pretty lucky badge being awesome. Now we've got Clefs. They've got an HP of 3, an attack of 2, and a defense of 2. These guys are a bit of a tough, cookie to handle because your hammer attacks don't do jack diddly squat to these things. And I mean, I suppose we could use the Smash Charge badge we got last chapter, but that requires a turn, and I really don't want to waste more time than I have to. And this is where you're going to notice a problem if you're playing alongside with me, because like early in Paper Mario, you're gonna really notice how limited you are in terms of abilities. Because at this point, we only have 10 FP and I believe 6 badge points, and we can't get a lot of mileage out of that. Like the problem is, early in the game, since you only have those abilities as well as only one ability to heal your HP and FP as a, without the need for buying items and such, things could drag to an absurd degree because, like, there is a point, I do cut it out, but there is a point where I have to, like, focus for a few battles just to be able to use Refresh, just so I can use Bombette's bomb ability to get these battles moving faster, because her bomb attack does 3 damage to the cleft, which in this case is an instant KO for them. So yeah, this chapter is sort of a drag because it really emphasizes how weak you are early on. I kind of wish they introduced clefts a little later when you were actually capable of handling them early on, because since they have a defensive 2, your hammer attacks without the hammer charge don't do anything, like, at all, and it's really frustrating. We're gonna come back to that star piece later. Now, I think there was something above that block, but I neglected to check. So, oops. But enough about that, we got the damage dodge badge, another one of my favorites. Unfortunately, I can't equip it as I am right now, but basically what it does is that whenever you guard, you take 1 less damage than the attack normally would. So, for example, since the cleft does 2 damage, you guard, you only take 1. If you have the damage dodge badge equipped, it increases the amount of defense you have when you're guarding. So, when you're doing the guard action command. So instead, the clef won't be able to do any damage because your defense essentially goes up by 2 when you pull off the guard. And it's actually really cool. And unfortunately, it gets a debuff in the later in the second game, sadly. But then again, it would probably be absurdly broken in that game for reasons we'll get into like later down the road, especially when I equip it. I'll go more in detail when I actually start using the badge. Now, unfortunately, after we do get the last letter, we are gonna have to backtrack to all the way to where Parakarry is. So, unfortunately, yeah, this is where the backtracking starts to happen, and I mean, it's not like it's a chore to get over there, but it really makes you feel like, why did you even bother why did you lose all these letters? It could have saved me the trouble of doing this if you were just good at your job. I'm also looking for 2 letters I may have lost. See, like, if you bring the first letter back, he tells you that, and then you're just like, ah, dang it. And then you go off to look for the other 2 letters, so just get all 3, just immediately. Of course, there's still 1 more letter left. If at all possible, could you please find it too? I'm really scouring this area down here. No, you're not. You are going back and forth like the tool you are. How appropriate. You're fitting for a Koopa. You're a lifesaver. I wish there was some way I could repay you for your help. So, now we get the shocking revelation that, he lost letters all over the entire Mushroom Kingdom. Throughout the entire game, he just lost letters everywhere. Postman of the Year, dudes and dudettes. Like, wow. Could you not suck at mailing more? You're just as bad as Mailman in real life. Alright, but to compensate for his lack of ability to mail things, he becomes our new party member. Uh, and he's able to carry us across gaps between platforms. Over pits, essentially. He's also pretty useful in battle early on, especially considering one of his attacks does a lot of damage, but we won't be doing it. We won't be going over that now. We're going to be going over that next part. I do apologize for the small part because, again, whenever I record and edit these things, they end up being shorter than I expected. I probably could have finished the entire mountain and still managed to do this in less than 20 minutes, but, what are you going to do? So, now that we finished that, I guess next time on Paper Mario, we're going to finish Mount Regan and see what Perry Carey has to offer as a party member. So until then, I got a juice.